Majority of the owners and managers in the timber industry believe that their waste has economic value. From logging to sawmilling and plywood production, quite a bit of waste is generated. However, the Assistant Certification Manager at the Logs and Lumber Limited, Mr. Alfred Baku, says waste produced at the factory level is minimal since most of the waste generated has used in other areas. He said nothing is thrown away in the timber industry. Salome Tetteh has more.
Heaps of waste such as these at wood processing factories, it could be worrisome to behold, but Mr. Alfred Baku, the Assistant Certification Manager at the Logs and Lumber Limited, says all is well since the waste generated in various forms are reabsorbed into the system. First is the manual debacking of the timber, one of the primary sources of waste generated. Mr. Baku said these are sold for medicinal purposes, especially the bark of the mahogany tree. Jonas Derry is a debarker and says the process is sometimes tedious.
Forest cyber. It is cyber. And so much when more adding. By the old forest,
the waste includes sliced and trimmed pieces of veneer, sawdust from the planing of lumber, as well as offcuts from the mills. Mr. Baku said the offcuts, which are pieces of wood members, would ordinarily be thrown away, but absorbed in the molding department.
They are pieces of wood re-engineered into the finger joints and then laminated to form large member boards for use, just as any normal lumber could be used for anything. For like what? For interior decoration purposes, for tables, for doors, window frames, and all other things.
The sawdust is another form of waste, and this is said to generate income for the timber company.
If we wouldn't use the sawdust, companies come to us to take the sawdust to produce another material which they also export as well. That material is called the briquettes. The briquettes are simply a cool nature material that is produced to be used to burn, to produce heat.
These are yoke from the timber. After the mechanical peeling to produce plywood, the yoke is sold to the local people as well as other pieces for carpentry work. The Assistant Certification Manager said most of the waste generated is put into the boilers to produce steam to dry the wood. In the wood processing industry, what you may term as waste is actually cash, since all waste products have their use while saving the forest resources from dwindling. Salome Tetteh, GBC News, Kumasi.